Hello, Quinn Cunningham with Fortitude Training Concepts, and this is part 3 of our dry fire videos. In this video, there's the odds and ends, the things that I was running out of time in the last video, so I'm doing a third video just to go over some things that I couldn't cover, and they weren't really in the scope, but kind of in the scope. Let me get out my trusty whiteboard, like Sheldon. Love my whiteboards. Okay, so let's talk about timers and how to utilize those timers. Now, you can get a shot timer like this, or you can just download something off your smartphone. The ones on the smartphones don't really work that well for live fire, but it can help you out with dry fire. So what you want to do is you're going to get your timer and you're going to set a delay. That means I can hit the button and then release the button, and I have a certain amount of time where the first beep goes off, because you can't hit it boop and then get to your gun. So the second thing we are going to adjust is called a par time. That is the second beep. So on a 2-second par time with a delay, it's going to sound like this. Okay, the second beep is the par time. Your timer will not pick up the click from when you press the trigger, but you will know if you press it before or after that timer. Okay, so that's how we utilize the timers. So we talked about mechanical proficiency, and we talked about the 50 repetitions mode. So let's talk about what you should do for, say, a beginning level shooter. Now, there's a whole bunch of drills out there. There's a whole bunch of dry fire drills, but this is just the bare bones, what you can get by, and this will take about 20 minutes. You do this 3 times a week and you're going to be a stud. So let's do the draw. Let's do the draw with the 50 repetition that we talked about in video 2. Let's do a reload, say a combat or a slide lock reload. Let's do that with the 50 repetition. From there, we can adjust things a little bit. We can do, say, a tactical reload. Since a tactical reload is done during a lull in the fight, I don't see a reason to put a time standard on it. So what you can do is, let's do 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, 3 to 5 minutes. No timer. Just work on that skill set over and over and over and over. Okay. After that, what should we do? What should we do? Let's do the immediate action drill. The tap, rack, the reassess drill. Now, again, I don't see a reason to put a time standard on that. When you do this over and over and over, you will gain some speed on it, but the timer you have, the timer that I have, they only go to a certain amount of time, so you can't really go under a half a second with most of these timers. You're going to clear this malfunction in faster than a half a second. So let's do another 3 to 5 minutes on that. All right, and then from there, let's go to the, oh no, the double feed clearance. I'm so scared of those. Now, let's work on that universal malfunction clearance, the type 3 malfunction, and let's do that 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. I don't see a reason to put a time standard on that. You are going to get faster and faster, unless you want to. If you want to put a time standard on there, go, by all means, go ahead. But I found that when I do the 3 to 5 minutes, that really helps me out. And actually, what I have found, if I do it at 4 minutes, I get in more repetitions at 5 minutes, because 5 minutes, I think, oh, 5 minutes, and then I kind of dawdle a little bit. Now what we can do is, how about some pivots and turns? Okay, if you know how to do that, get some training. If you don't, I would do probably a 3 to 5 minute on that guy as well. You can do a time standard on there and then just do it for 3 to 5 minutes. So those are some of the things that we can work on. There's a ton of other stuff, I don't have enough whiteboard space or time on YouTube to do all the drills that you could do. Establish a good training plan, and allow that training plan to change throughout time and morph. on how well you're doing in your training. So that's handgun. Let's do some rifle work with our AR or AK. Okay. So let's do a mount. Mounting the rifle. You could probably do that with our 50 rep scheme. Let's do, hey, a reload. Let's do that with the 50 as well. Okay. Now from there, how about we do a handgun transition? This is kind of up in the air on you on how you want to do it. I do both. Kind of depends on my mood. Sometimes I'll do the 50 and sometimes I'll do 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. Let's work on the handgun transition. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, get some training. Talked about the reloads. We could do a tack reload from 3 to 5 minutes. How about the IAD? Okay. Let's do that, 3 to 5 minutes. How about our universal malfunction clearance? Okay. 3 to 5 minutes. And what I do with the universal malfunction clearance is I throw in things like a bolt override as well. If you don't know what that is, get some training. Pivots and turns. We can do the same thing with the rifle. 3 to 5 minutes. Working on the same targets, same distance. Okay, we've got handgun, we've got rifle. So what are you going to carry more often? You're probably going to carry a handgun more often. So let's do a 4-day track. Let's do Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays doing our handgun. And then Saturdays, let's work on a rifle. It's totally up to you on how you want to do it. It's pretty much limited to your level of participation that you want to do with this stuff. But this will get us going. This is a good place to start. Again, there'll be some comments. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do. Okay, but this is probably a good start. What else can we talk about? Dummy rounds. When we do training, it's probably a good idea to get some dummy rounds. Just some inert. I don't have to do this. I can just put it down. How about I just do that? So you're not looking at my back. We've got some inert dummy rounds right here. Okay, we can do training with those guys. Those help out a lot. Odds and ends. Some things that I do that help with the time. The way I see it is time is very expensive to me. For me, that's my most precious resource. So I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time dry firing. I already spent a lot. Some things you can do. Again, it's up to you and your philosophy. On, say, a combat reload, I don't drop the magazine. I make sure I hit that button, that mag release, but that takes out several seconds of me setting up the magazine and starting again. Okay, just some odds and ends. When I'm doing, say, rifle, working on the rifle, what I've done, I have a few rifle training mags that I've taken out the follower and the spring and just glued on the base plate so I can work that bolt as much as I want with a magazine in there. So totally odds and ends. Totally odds and ends. If you have any questions, please, you can contact us. You can contact us on the website. You can comment on this video. You can contact us on our email address. We are on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on all the social media. So again, this has been Quinn Cunningham with Fortitude Training Concepts. I appreciate you watching. Hopefully this gave you some information. And as always, God bless America.